Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am officially starting the process of getting project sites ready for beta readers, which I am super excited about. This is going to involve a couple of things, the main one being going through the entire book again chronologically and doing a line edit pass, as well as figuring out what questions I want to ask and making some questionnaires and that sort of thing. But the main one would be to actually recruit some beta readers, which I have not done yet. I'm gonna keep the list quite short. I have chosen 4 people that I would like to ask, and I also have some plan B options in case those 4 people can't do the timeline or don't like the blurb that I'm sending them. I don't know. 3 of them are obviously gonna be the chaos queens who have already said that they want to read my book, but they don't know what it's about, so they might still say no once they find out what it's about. And then the 4th person is someone that has expressed interest in reading my book, but they also don't know what it's about, and I don't know what their availability is. And yeah, it's basically all people that know that I want them to be beta readers, but I haven't told them any details yet. So in an attempt to procrastinate from actually asking for help, I spent the morning putting together a little beta reading Notion page with just a little tracker of how people are going to be doing and that sort of stuff, as well as the information that I'm going to need to send to people. It took a really long time to actually get a blurb that I didn't hate. This is obviously still a very rough blurb that's not going to be the final in any way whatsoever, but I feel like it's good enough to send to my friends. I hope. I'm technically officially ready to send the message to people. I'm just delaying it by talking to you for longer. Why am I so bad at this? I honestly don't know why I'm so scared about it, because it's not like I'm sending them the book. I'm sending them a 2-paragraph message of what the book is about and asking if they're interested in reading it. It's really not that hard. This should not take this much willpower to do. Okay, I am going to see if I can balance my laptop on here. Sort of. No. Ow. I think this sort of works. Hopefully I don't drop it. I am going to start with the chaos queens because they scare me the least, and I already have a message. I think I'll send them to them one by one rather than in the group chat, because I want to torture myself by having to force myself to press the send button 3 times instead of once. I mean, the main reason is because I don't want them to feel peer pressure into saying yes if I send it in the group chat, but I've already got the message. I just have to copy paste it into the conversation. Right, the first problem is that apparently the message I'd send is too long to fit in one message, so I'm gonna have to send 2 separate messages. Let me see where I can break this up. It's just Danny. Danny's not gonna hurt me. Send the damn message already. Oh my god, please. The fact that I know that it's currently like 6 AM in the States is really not helping, because it's like once I send it, I'm gonna have to wait for at least 3 hours for a reply. Maybe I should just wait and send it in 3 hours time. We're doing this now, stop procrastinating. Okay. I'm pressing the button. Okay, I'm gonna read it one more time, then I'll press the button. Okay, that was the first half of the message. Now I gotta do this again. Of course, the second half is a lot harder because it actually has the blurb on it. So that was the first one out of 4 people I need to do this with. I mean, I'm hoping the second one will be easier, right? That's how this works. I did it. I sent the stupid message. I am regretting sending a blurb already because reading it back, it's really not that good, and I should have worked on it for longer than an hour. It's fine. It's sent now. There's nothing I can do about it other than progressively check my messages every 5 minutes for the next 3 hours until someone replies. Let's maybe not do that. I am going to need a minute to calm down after that, and then I'll tell you the rest of my plan. Literally the second I finished filming, I got a reply back from Crystal saying this. And oh my god, I figured she would be the first person to reply because she gets up stupid early, but that was still incredibly fast and I'm so excited. It's still 6 a.m. I'm not expecting anyone else's reply for a couple of hours, so I'm gonna get off Instagram now, I promise. It is a couple of hours later and I'm feeling a lot calmer. I'm still waiting on 2 responses, but the 2 people that have seen it have said yes, which is wonderful. I am really happy. I am really scared about the other people's reactions, but neither of the people that have read it mentioned the blurb being terrible, so one of the main things that I wanted to include in the message was the date in which they will actually receive the book from me, and I decided to set that date to the 11th of September, which is exactly 2 weeks from today. This means that I have 14 days to go over 60 chapters, which works out to just over 4 chapters a day. So clearly this is gonna be a very quick pass because I don't have time to look at each chapter in detail anymore. In theory, the book should be fine to send to beta readers now, but I want to do another pass through because when I was editing, especially Acts 1 and 2, I was jumping around all over the place. I wasn't doing things chronologically, so I haven't actually read through the entire thing chronologically since April. So the main things I'd like to concentrate on would be, does everything still make sense? Have I broken something by changing the order of things? Anything where I change the name of things, I want to make sure that I haven't missed any instances, because that would be really confusing for people. And then the main thing is really just gonna be a quick line edit and copy edit pass. Just a quick pass to get rid of any obvious mistakes. And while I do all of that, I also want to focus on what I actually want from people. So I want to be asking myself questions that I want other people to then reply to. So I want to ask other people questions. And I think reading through everything again is going to help me remind myself of what the problem areas are and what I actually want help on. But yes, it is 2 p.m. already and I wanted to do at least 5 chapters today, so I better make myself a tracker real quick and then go get started. Hello again. It is a couple of days later and I have both good news and bad news. The good news is that all 4 people that I asked to beta read for me have now said yes. So this is the Chaos Queens, which I already mentioned, and also Katie, who officially has also allowed me to use her name in this video. I am so excited to get my book to them, but I am also incredibly scared, but mostly excited, I think. I'm excited for now. When I actually have to send the book, I'll be more scared. The bad news is this. I am somehow already very behind. I started working on this on Sunday, it is now Wednesday. And I'm not worried about the fact that I didn't do anything yesterday, because that was because of day job reasons. The thing that does worry me is the fact that I had Sunday and Monday off. Monday was a bank holiday in England, and I had the entire day on both of those days, and I still didn't manage to reach my minimum number of chapters per day, which is 4.5. I only managed 3 per day. So if I can't pull it off during my days off, I'm not sure how I'm gonna be pulling it off during the week. So I have a week and a half until my deadline. I may have overestimated myself a little bit here. Part of what was holding me back over the weekend was that my throat kept hurting. The way that I'm revising these chapters is I am going through it normally in my head first and doing like a whole pass through the chapter like that. And then I'm doing a second pass through where I read the chapter out loud, and that is really helpful in helping me figure out things that I haven't noticed the first time round. I found myself spotting lots of places where I had the same word twice in a row in 2 sentences, but I didn't notice that until I read it out loud. So doing this is definitely helping, but I can only do so many chapters out loud before my throat starts hurting and I need to take a break. I also feel like the amount of line edits I'm gonna need does decrease as I get further into the book. So at the minute I'm averaging about an hour to an hour and a half per chapter. I think that should go down as I get further into the book and there's some shorter chapters further in, as well as my ability to write getting better over time, so there should be less things to fix. So hopefully we will catch up on ourselves. As I said, it is Wednesday today and it's around 7 p.m. so I don't think that I'm going to be able to do 4 chapters today in the next 2 hours, but I'm hoping maybe I can do 2 of them and that will get me to the end of section 1, and then I can also start working on the questionnaire, which is gonna be exciting. I gotta figure out how to do that still. It is Friday today, which means that I am exactly 6 days into my line editing / beta reading prep, which means that we are very nearly halfway through the timeline. We are not halfway through the book though, we are very much not halfway through the book at the minute. I am currently on chapter 15 and I think I should be around 22 today according to my plan. I did get quite a lot of line editing done during the travel stream today, and we also spent some time talking about goals for the month of September, since quite a lot of people are doing the seasonal writing challenge that Anne-Sophie hosts every couple of months. And I am not participating in that this month because I'm not drafting, but in order to give like an equivalent goal and be able to participate in the conversation, I switched over my goal of line editing the entire book into an actual word count goal. And what I ended up with is that I am line editing 100,000 words over the course of 2 weeks, which should have been obvious. I mean, I know how long my book is, and I know that I'm trying to line edit the entire thing in 2 weeks. For some reason, it just hadn't clicked. That's a lot of words for 2 weeks. And I'm not doing a detailed line edit. This is a very quick pass. I'm just checking for like things that really stand out to me and making little changes here and there. Some chapters did need a bit more work on them than others, but it's not like a massively detailed line edit. But it's still a lot. This makes me feel a lot less guilty about how behind I am, because clearly this was a much more ambitious goal than I thought it was. Saying 100,000 words versus saying one book just sounds very different. I'm not giving up on it though, like I'm still going to try to do this in 2 weeks, but I am aware that it is more than I thought it was for some reason, and that's okay. We've got this. Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I have just finished line editing 3 chapters all in one go, and that may not sound like a lot, but I'm exhausted, so I'm gonna be taking a break. I have these very old looking bananas that very desperately need to be used up for something, so we're gonna be taking advantage of that. And while I do that, I can give you an update on things. I am gonna need a bowl. Hold on. Okay, so it is Saturday today. I do want to do more than 3 chapters, ideally, seeing as my absolute minimum per day is supposed to be 4.5 chapters. However, I am currently at the set of chapters that are probably the longest in the entire novel. The one that I've just finished is about 5,000 words. My average chapters being about 2,000 to 2,500 words. So like literally twice the length as a normal chapter. And I think the one immediately afterwards is a similar length, and then the one after that is only 3,000 words, which is still long, but it's a little bit better. So I think my goal for today is just gonna be going through this final 5 chapters in section 3. And then the start of section 4 has like 5 chapters at the start of it, which are all, I think, around 1,000 words. So like, they're so short in comparison. I'm gonna go through those so quickly. So I think for today I'm just gonna like do those 5, and then tomorrow we're gonna properly catch up and get into those really short chapters and hopefully like actually make a dent into this graph and have the line go steep towards where it's supposed to go. And then maybe I'll actually be able to finish my book by the 11th of September, but we'll see. One of the things that I've been doing while going through these edits is first I'll do my normal quiet pass, then I'll do a second pass where I read it out loud, and then I'm actually doing a third pass as well. So this one is just when I move the chapter into Google Docs, which is the format that I'll be sending it to my friends for beta reading. I've actually noticed that Google Docs picks up on not necessarily more, but different things with the error detection algorithm than my usual program does, which is OpenOffice Writer, I think. So I'm doing a third pass where I just go through the highlighted things and take a look at those in case I missed anything. So that's been really useful for things like skipped commas and that sort of thing, because it's a lot better at finding punctuation mistakes. And it also seems very good at American versus British spelling errors. I am trying to keep my book at British spelling, but since I read a lot of American spelling all the time, there's words where I just don't know if I spelled them correctly, so that's been really helpful. However, However, there has also been a couple of errors highlighted that are not errors, but they're really funny. One of the ones I got this morning, which is probably my favorite so far, was this sentence. I was trying to say that thread crouched under something, I can't remember how the sentence ends, and instead Google Docs seems to think that I want to say that thread crochets under something. And first of all, that doesn't even make grammatical sense, like what are you doing? But I also feel like Google Docs is maybe trying to passive-aggressively tell me that my book isn't good and that I should just go back to crocheting dinosaurs all day instead. I'm not sure I agree with Google Docs' opinion on this, but I appreciate the feedback.
We had our ups and downs, baby. Sometimes we were tight and sometimes oceans apart. Gotta learn just how to move on without you. Move on without you. We had our on and offs, baby. Sometimes we were tight and sometimes everything but. Gotta learn just how to forget about you. Forget about you. When you call me up and sound so sweet, there's nothing to blame. But when you don't pick up for days on end, I see my mistake. I'm out of patience. Come out and say it, that it's over now, so I can stop chasing.
Hello, it is Monday today and I am very tired, but I thought I would give you a little update anyway. I was really happy with my progress on Saturday, but I think I might have pushed myself a little bit too hard because then on Sunday I just completely crashed and I think I just managed 3 chapters, maybe? Might have been 4, but those chapters were 500 to 600 word each, so that is nothing. I should have been able to do so much more than those. But yeah, basically calculated that at this point, in order to reach my deadline, I need to do 5 chapters per day during weekdays and then 7 chapters a day on the weekend, and then I should be fine. Is that in any way doable? I am not sure. It is currently 8 p.m. on Monday and I am missing another 2 chapters in order to catch up to that. I have been very back and forth on how I feel about the story during this line edit. I feel like I'm reading it a little bit differently just because I know that other people are going to read it after this. After I go through a chapter, this is me saying, okay, this is as good as I can get it right now, and now someone else is gonna see it. So that makes me think about it very differently when I actually read it. I don't know, it's a very strange feeling. It's like I've got the voices of all 4 of my beta readers in my head, and they're giving me advice as I read it because I'm sort of overthinking about what they're gonna say later. I'm not sure if that's saying that I don't actually need the advice because I can apparently hear it in my head already, but I'm hoping that they're gonna give me new advice to what I seem to imagine. But because of this, sometimes I get to chapters that I'm really proud of and I get so excited about sending the book to them. And then the chapter I did just now, it's oh shit, this is so bad, it's embarrassing, but I don't really have time to fix it that much. I fixed it up a little bit, I spent a good hour and a half just reworking certain sections, and I think it is better, but an hour and a half is really the maximum I can afford per chapter at the minute. I'm supposed to be doing 5 a day. So yeah, we've got some variable quality writing going towards my friends soon, but hopefully the good chapters make up for the bad ones, right? The other thing I wanted to tell you about is that Anna Robbins is currently hosting a 5 a.m. writing challenge, and I am not participating in it. I already tried to do a 6 a.m. writing challenge once, and even though it was quite effective in getting me to write more, it completely burnt me out and I felt like it was affecting my performance at work, so this is not something that I want to try again at the minute. However, I have decided that in order to benefit from the spirit of the community and all of that, I am attempting a 7 a.m. challenge, which is laughable in comparison. 7 a.m. is nothing. It should be nothing. It's what I used to do when I had to commute to work. But it's earlier that I'm getting up at the minute, and the idea of that is that I should have at least 40 minutes in the morning to work on my story before I sit down and work on my actual job for the day. And even if it's just like 40 minutes, it's enough that I can maybe get in one chapter if I work on it focusedly enough, if it's not a terrible chapter, if it's a normal chapter. And since I'm supposed to be doing 5 chapters a day, only having to do 4 in the evening does help a lot. I say that as though I didn't still have to do 2 more chapters today before I can go to bed. I should probably get back to work because it's 9 p.m. Hello, it is Saturday today.
It is. Oh.
What are you doing now on pub?
I'll let you decide.
It is Saturday today, which means that my book is officially going to beta readers tomorrow. That is so strange, but let's maybe not think about that and instead think about the fact that I haven't finished it yet. I am honestly so amazed with the amount of progress I've been able to do for the past week. I actually stuck to my goal of doing 5 chapters a day during the work week, which is honestly insane. But yeah, I've got all day today to finish the last, I think, 7 chapters plus the epilogue. So quite a bit to go yet, but I do think that we can finish it today. Let's go finish draft 4 of my book. I finished draft 4 of my book yesterday. It ended up working out to about 117k words, which is insane because my previous draft was only 100k, so I've added 17k words to this draft. And yeah, this is how my tracker ended up looking. So I fell behind a lot at the start and then slowly picked up pace and got caught up at the very last second. Even if I finished the actual draft yesterday, I have spent all morning staring at it. I did have some actual important things left to do, like going through all of the questionnaires and making sure that I'm still happy with the questions, as well as generally rearranging some of them that weren't necessarily super relevant to the section they were in, and trying to balance out so that all sections have similar amounts of questions. So once I did that, I copied my general template into 4 different documents so that I can send them to 4 different people, and I spent 2 hours writing an email to them. And I haven't sent the email yet because let's just go full cycle at this point and start the video and end the video the same way, which is me hovering over the send button for 10 minutes straight and then having to edit it out. Quality content right there. I have written the email. As I said, it took about 2 hours because I don't know how it took me 2 hours to write this email, but it did. I am very scared. I'm not scared of the criticism because I want criticism. That is the point of this. I feel like, relatively speaking, I have quite thick skin, and the actually getting constructive criticism part does not scare me. What I am scared about is, I guess, people giving me criticism that goes beyond that. So anyone thinking that the concepts themselves are not workable and that I should scratch the project altogether, which I'm not sure I would do even if someone told me to do that. But if all 4 people tell me to do that, then maybe I've got a problem. And I guess the other thing is people actually knowing what I'm working on is scary. I've kept this project very, very secretive and close to my heart, and I've barely talked about it. I've talked about my characters a bit, but the actual plot and world building are incredibly secret, and yeah, people are now gonna know what it's about. Very few people, but more people than know right now. I guess I better send this email, shouldn't I? I've got my laptop on my lap at the minute, and the email is open. I gotta send 2 different emails. The first one is the actual hey, here's what I want from this, here's some info, here's the breakdown of how long each section is, etc. And then after that I gotta go into Google Drive and send the actual shareable link with the document and let them read it. I'm feeling surprisingly calm about this though. I say that now, I'm not attempting to send it yet, but I think I can do this in one go this time. She says still not sending it. Okay, I am going to click send right now. That was the first email, and now I also need to actually share the first section of the book, ideally to the correct person. I want this to be restricted, and I want... where's the advanced options? I don't want anyone changing permissions and sharing, and I want to share this with Danny as an editor. Yes. Hi Danny, here is the first section of project site. Enjoy. Smiley face. I'm starting with Danny because I've read her book twice, so she scares me the least. Okay, clearly this button is being a little bit more difficult to actually press. I will bring myself to press the send button eventually. I am just checking this for typos one more time, because obviously typos in this message are so important. Okay, we're gonna click send now. This is fine, I can do this. It's gone. And that was definitely the correct section and person. Yes. Okay. I feel so strange. I've been working on this book since 2016, very on and off. I have spent a total of 875 hours on this book so far. So sending it to someone is just scary, but as I'm gonna send the other 3 emails off camera because you don't need to watch me do this 3 times in a row. But thank you so much for following my journey of trying to bring myself to click send on this stupid email. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in 2 weeks with another video. Have a nice week. Bye bye.